You look pretty spooked.
I've never been a big fan of cemeteries, especially after,
I promise after this we can chill at the house. Cool?
Hello, friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm your host, Daffy Roth, and in this episode, we are going to continue our playthrough of Tell Me Why. This isn't going to be flying because I actually had done this whole episode and realized that it was not recording video, only audio. So, that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it. In our last episode, we had headed over to the store to talk to Tessa. However, Tessa was not there, so we confronted her husband instead. Tom, I believe his name was. He didn't really have anything to say. And then we kind of talked to Michael, and then Michael and Taylor had a plushy fight, and they did decide to head over to the cemetery because that's where Tessa is at visiting her family. In my last episode, I stated that I was a bit confused, and I just want to clarify on what my confusion is. I don't consider myself straight, I guess, in the best terms of things, just because of some of the ways that I tend to lean. I'm not attracted to males, but that being said, when it comes to trans and stuff like that, it just depends on the person. Now, when it comes to people that I've talked to as far as, being, just straight up gay, it's oftentimes the female anatomy that they're just like, no. So what my confusion kind of is that Michael, in the game they're trying to portray as, at least from the way that he stated about Allison, is that, he's gay. And I get that Tyler is, his sex is female, his, gender is male. But at the same time, he's still going to have those female parts. And to be honest, I'm not hip on the surgery. I know there's top surgery. I don't really know what they can do with the bottom, but biologically speaking, it's those parts. So it's really, my question comes down to, I suppose, sexuality and where that lies on the so-called spectrum. So I guess that was really what my confusion was. I mean, because honestly, like, Tyler and Allison look the same, cut the hair, throw on a beard, and they're relatively the same person. So, well, looks wise, anyways. But, anyways, that I just wanted to clear that up. It wasn't being like ew. It was just more just kind of like from the conversations that I've had in the past, um, things like that, or I was just kind of, thrown for a curveball there. That being said, Allison apparently did not like that. It may have just had to do with us wasting time when she wanted to go to the cemetery. So that's where we're at. We're here to confront Tessa and see what we can do there. I also noticed that this license plate says Oscar Breed, so whatever. Anyways, let's head into the cemetery and see what trouble we can get into here.
The pearl of a runlet that never ceases. With a hollow, boiling voice it speaks, and has spoken since hills were turfless peaks.
Okay. This episode may be a little bit shorter because I am going to somewhat streamline this. I did kind of walk around.
So, did you ever come back?
Shh, keep it down.
Better?
Okay.
Much.
Why do people always feel like they have to whisper in cemeteries?
I don't know. Probably just a mirror neuron thing.
Oh, what?
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. Anyway, have you been back here at all? Since the funeral?
No. I've never had a reason to. Thankfully.
So I'm kind of the same mind. Like, I've lost both my parents, both my father and my mother. My mom's been dead since 2001, 2002. It was right before my 21st birthday. So I've never visited her grave. Now, the thing is, for me, I just never have seen the point in it. She's with me always. She's in my heart. I understand the need for wants for cemeteries. I personally think that cemeteries take up a lot of space, especially when you're talking about, homelessness and things like that, and overpopulation and what have you. Um, I've always kind of been on the mind of George Carlton when it comes to that, the cemeteries, golf courses, things like that. But I also understand the need to want to memorialize people. I just think there's a more efficient way of doing it. Um, and so yeah, I mean, but that's honestly my opinion. I care. I don't really care either way.
Our mother made us come here all the time. It was so weird.
Mom, why do we always come here?
Does it bother you?
No, it's just weird because we don't know any of these people. I mean, except Eddie's mom.
It never hurts to say hello.
Because they're very lonely.
That's right, sweetie. And sometimes, even if you can't see them, they stay with you. In here. Always here.
Mom?
Always.
She loved us. A lot, but sometimes it was like loving us hurt her.
Do you think she was just really scared of losing us?
Maybe. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, most parents are scared of losing their kids.
All right, it says due to the national outlawing of native religions and way of life, much to our knowledge of the old ways of the Tlingit, I'm not gonna say that right. Spiritual practice has been lost. Below are two everlasting examples of love and reverence we continue to show our departed in the tradition of our ancestors. I'm pretty sure it's referring to probably back when we were setting up the United States. Mourning those who have journeyed to the other side, as love transcends all boundaries. The passing of a clan member is an event felt through the community. That people come together to mourn a loved one, and lift their opposite clan members' spirits. When an eagle is being mourned, the ravens shower love and strength upon mourning eagle clans. Likewise, when a raven is being mourned, the eagles are there for their ravens. After the service, it is customary for members of the opposite moiety to comfort the grieving family by bringing out their Au clan-owned regalia to symbolically catch cheers before they hit the ground and comfort grieving clan members with supports. Celebrating life, the 40-day party is observed 40 days after the passing to pay respects to the departed. Some believe this is a more recent tradition. Family members organize a shared meal where a fire dish, one plate of food, is burned to nourish and comfort the spirit of the departed. 1 year or more from passing, a kuex potluck, I think it's potluck, is held to first mourn and celebrate the life of the departed. It is hosted by the clan of the deceased. This is to honor the departed clan member through a traditional ceremony, show appreciation, and pay debts to the opposite monarchy who supported the clan during time of mourning. So as I say before, this is going to be more of a streamlined playthrough, for at least for this episode, only because I got lost looking at a bunch of graves and stuff, and it really didn't bring anything to anything. So,
Well, here's the crooked tree, but no Tessa.
Let's check around for her parents' grave, just to make sure this is the right spot.
Wait, is this the one we called the Big Crookedy?
The exact one.
Why didn't we call it Gnarl's Branching? Total missed opportunity.
Because we weren't hip to basketball back then? Or CeeLo Green?
Damn. I remember it going all the way up to the clouds.
Everything does when you're 4 feet tall.
Guess again.
all right. So this is Taylor Phillips. Was born in 34, died in 81.
No dice.
This is Robin Becker. Died in 30 in, or was born in 1930, died in 2010. That's a good age of 80.
De Leon.
That's the one.
Don't tell me we missed her.
Hello, Mr. Eagle.
Kids, it's time.
You really have to go, Eddie?
You can hold my hand if you want.
I can walk fine on my own.
It'll be quick, okay? Then we'll get something to eat.
The day of the funeral. I barely remember it.
That's probably for the best. I don't think either of us are exactly eager to relive what went on behind that gate.
So... I know I said we didn't have to visit her grave.
But it feels like the right thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
It should be. Oh, let's see here. This is Julia Simpson, born in 41, died in 76. She died relatively young. Here is Adriel Yassi, born in 43, died in 2007. May you rest in peace. Hazel Salazar, born in 1943, died in 99, a life measured in memories. Again, fairly young.
Lost in the chaos of history. What's that mean?
Not sure. But Michael should know.
To honor those no longer with us, the Tlingit Preservation Community and Community of the Delos dedicate this monument as an everlasting connection between past, present, and future generations. May the memory of our dearly departed never be lost in the chaos of history. May this be a resting place for our loved ones who have journeyed to the other shore. May our eternal love soothe the wounds of days past towards a brighter horizon. I think really what it comes down to is the tumultuous time that was American colonialization and the suppressing of the native peoples and religions. So obviously a lot was lost during that time, especially when you're talking about outlawing certain things. I don't believe that's still the case today, but it is important to remember those who came before us. Benjamin Correa, June 25th, 31 to 2004, until we meet again. Amen to that. And this is in loving memory of Dustin Lewis, August 1943 to 2002. Let's go talk to Michael here.
When did Michael's uncle die?
Last year. It was really hard on him. He's still feeling it. Long time no see. Do you want some company?
Come on over. Make yourselves comfortable.
Donald McCarthy, 53 to 2002.
How are you, holding up?
Everything's such a mess. I thought we'd almost be done packing by now. I'm so ready to put this place behind us. At least Mr. Hollywood Handsome over there is good company.
Funny how you never mentioned what your brother looked like before he got into town.
Oh, I just thought I'd surprise you.
I mean, we are twins. She's just jealous I got the looks.
She's always been jealous because I got the looks.
Yeah, but I got the brains. So.
Oh man, you two are such a pair.
All right.
I'm not sure if I should try to pronounce this.
Yeah, I'm
Man,
not
I'm
gonna
so
do it.
rusty.
I know you're in it right now, but try not to let it get to you. Juna's gonna seem real boring after all this, huh?
God, boring sounds so good right now. Binging terrible shows while my amazing roommate cooks something delicious. Heaven.
Delicious food for tax returns?
You got yourself a deal, mister.
Is this a bad time?
With you? Never.
Don't mind me. I'm not really here.
Hey, I get to see your ugly mug almost every day. You're old news, lady.
You wound me. Deeply.
So, can I help you guys out somehow?
Yeah, what was your uncle like?
So what was your uncle like?
Oh boy. Where do I start? You know that one grumpy grandpa in all the sitcoms? The one that types like a T-Rex and never leaves his recliner?
I think I'm getting the picture.
I think I'm getting the picture.
Not yet, you aren't. As grumpy as he was, they didn't make him any sweeter than him. He's the kind of guy who accepted you for where you were at, even when he didn't approve.
Not many of those out there.
So about this place.
Hey, can I ask you something about this place?
Shoot.
What's the story behind the Tlingit Memorial?
May the memory of our dearly departed never be lost in the chaos of history.
That was Uncle William.
Lost in the chaos of history?
Well, let's say you wanted room for a school or a road and didn't give a shit about ethics. Easy. You just dug up our ancestors. That shit happened a lot.
God. Assholes.
Yeah. And I mean, it still happens, but not as much. We have the elders to thank for that.
What does it say on your uncle's grave?
It says William Thomas Collins. Kidding. That's his Tlingit name. Sukakanik. It means being trained and taught. Folks were dead on the money with that one. One of a handful of old dogs who could still learn new tricks.
I'll stop bugging you now.
Well, I'm here if you're ever curious.
Talk to you later.
You bet.
I was kind of curious because like that seems to be the only grave with like a the Tlingit, dialect, so I guess that makes sense. As far as, having an English name as well as a memorial.
Do you remember where she is?
No. I mean, for what it's worth, I remember staring at the water during the funeral.
Allison, please.
I'm not going.
Allison, come back!
Yeah. Any hope that this would be easier than last time? Totally gone.
At least this time no one's sending me away.
I'm holding you to that. Afterwards, you and I had a moment over there by the totem, right? I wonder if we could see that.
Doesn't hurt to check.
Skating on Wednesday. I wish you could have seen her. She took off across that ice like she was born to do it. She is your child, that's for sure. Got an offer for a real job, Meech. Teaching music and history at the high school. Mama and I had some words over it. She wants us to go back to Savannah so Jaina can grow up with family, a community. But I might take it. I'm surprised as anyone to hear those words coming out of my mouth, but I've started to come around on this place. I wish you were here to help me figure out what to do. God, I miss you, Meech. More every day. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there.
Hi. I hope we're not intruding.
Not at all. Hey, you're that nice gal from the Becky store, Allison, right?
Yes. And you're... It starts with a K, right?
Kendra. Don't worry. Don't expect you to keep track of everyone who passes through. And you would be...
Her brother. I'm Tyler.
Pleased to meet you, Tyler.
Where's your accent from? That sounds...
I hope this isn't rude, but where's that accent from?
Georgia, born and raised. Landed in Delos about 2 years ago.
From Georgia to the middle of nowhere, Alaska. There's gotta be a story there.
Well, I wasn't planning to stay for more than a few months. We came up for the fishing season, just like we'd done twice before. My husband, Meech, he always tried to convince me to stay on longer, but I wasn't having it. But then, well, we lost him.
Oh.
Fishing accident.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry. Way too many families around here have lost someone that way.
Yeah, something's gotta change. Anyway, now it's just me and my daughter, Jaina. And I just can't bring myself to pack us up and leave him here all alone.
Want to go back to Georgia?
Do you want to go back to Georgia?
Well, that's the real question, ain't it? I never used to like it here. Too cold, too quiet, like a frozen desert.
That sounds so
Thousands of
peaceful to
miles
me.
from family. But these days, I finally started to see it the way Meech did. All the beauty.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just wish it hadn't taken losing him to get me to come around. I'm realizing now I fought him more out of stubbornness than anything else.
That's gotta be hard.
Yeah. Don't ever let your own sense of what is come between you and the people you love. It's a real easy way to squander precious time.
Oh, I didn't see that. We should have to get going.
Sorry. We have to get going.
Don't apologize. It was nice talking to you.
See you around, Kendra.
You two have a good day.
So I did miss this interaction earlier, so I'm kind of glad I did get to go do that. And I'd say the same thing. You know, I take calls for a
She
living.
got kind of stranded out here.
I know. And her daughter's barely 2 years old. God, those kind of accidents happen all the time. The penalties cost less than safety upgrades.
So they do jack shit. Life's got a price.
Anyway, that was thing. Like, if I meet somebody that's got an accent, I often ask the same thing. So that's kind of funny. It's a good conversation starter. As long as you do it in the right way, anyways.
I won't let them take you away. I'm gonna tell them the truth. You swore, Allison. I'm gonna be okay. Please, don't worry about me.
I know I'm supposed to get over this Brown thing, but I really wish you'd been able to come visit that much.
Yeah, me too, but... Look, I didn't make any promises that day. You did. Watch.
Not sure what that grunting was, but...
They all think you killed her. It's not fair. I'll be okay. You have to take care of yourself now.
See?
It's possible, but I don't think so.
Well, I know so. Thinking about it got me through the rest of the day.
I'll be back
I
soon,
did choose
alright?
Allison memories to start with. And I'm gonna stick with that.
Promise.
Because I do
I'll be
think
back
that
soon,
that is what
alright?
happened. So
Promise. Chief Brown's gonna take care of you. We'll be okay. You'll see.
Kids. It's about to start.
I'm sorry it took me so long to come back. I got so caught up in everything that...
You really don't have to explain. I understand what you were going through now.
Are you ever gonna let me finish my sentences?
nope.
Maybe someday, but not today. You think Snowball still lives in there?
Snowy owls only tend to live about 10 years.
Oh, rest in peace, Snowball.
This
Aw.
spot's familiar. Man, hard Marianne took it when Eddie's mom died.
Well, we were only 4, but yeah. She lost one of her only friends. She was always saying how she never would have found a place in Delos Crossing without Carol.
You think her death kicked off Marianne's, you know?
It definitely didn't help, but no. It was years later.
No way. Her box is still here?
Well, we did cover it in like 100 layers of glue.
Oh, it's the old beaver was. The very old beaver.
Very old beaver is a helpful and industrious creature. She's the princess's most loyal friend.
All right. Okay, so the beaver is Eddie's mom. Okay, gotcha. As I was gonna say, you know, speaking with the with Kendra, it's funny because I find myself drawn to Alaska. Like, I'm not just saying that. Like, it's been on my mind for a while. Like, I don't like people. Well, okay, no, I do like people, but I don't like living in cities. Like, I just want to get away. And I don't know. I like the cold. I like the quiet, and it's beautiful, and it's somewhere I like to live. Now, as far as fishing exits and everything else that goes along with that, I do think something needs to be done. It's something that my roommate and I talk about. He's an engineer, and when it comes to when I hear a lot of these accents about planes cooling down and stuff, it's well, the cost of maintaining or the cost of fixing it outweighs the cost of the penalties, or and it's kind of like life is cheap when these multi-million-dollar companies fail to do upgrades or anything like that that can protect those, protect lives. And I have an issue with that. Like, I feel that you should do whatever it costs. There should be sparing no expense when it comes to protecting people's lives. So, because we are the most valuable resource.
This is it. Right?
Yeah.
But I'll step off my soapbox
I
here.
think I need a second.
I'm gonna have a look around, okay? I'll be right
So,
back.
Yeah, all good.
these graves don't really say anything. It just says, like, nope, this isn't the one, this isn't the one. So, I spent like 10 minutes over here looking for it. I just, for that reason, did not. I missed this one here, and this is where.
Where is she? Allison.
Is that her?
What the hell was going on with you? What broke?
Why didn't you say anything? We were your goblins. You didn't have to do it all alone.
Tessa?
Kids, I wasn't expecting to see. What are you?
The looks on their faces.
What are
oh
you
my
doing here?
God.
What are you doing here?
Feeling a little guilty, maybe?
Yeah, how dare you come to the cemetery? Any one of us.
When we pass on, our graves are all anyone has to remember us by. Letting hers just fall apart would be cruel. I'm not a cruel person.
Cruel enough to call social services on our mother.
I wanted to protect you. Marianne was getting worse all the time. I was afraid that if things kept going the way they were, then one day...
We were going to end up dead?
No, I won't do this again. I refuse to be held responsible for her choices.
Marianne was fine until you reported her.
Fine. She was getting by on handouts for years. There are only so many times you can show up high to a generous offer of employment. Assuming you show up at all. In the end, she isolated herself from everyone. She was alone and out of options.
She had us, until you threatened to have us taken away.
I couldn't let her drag you down with her. She had you stealing for God's sake. Your mother never wanted to be a part of this community. She always thought she was better than the rest of us. A spoiled little girl playing fairy princess in the woods. If she just settled down with someone instead of running around with married men, well, just ask Sam Kansky how much better that would have been for everyone.
Wait, what?
Scandalous.
Oh, God.
What happened between them?
I wasn't thinking. Please, just forget I said anything.
Tessa!
All I know is whatever went on, Laura left Sam over it. But I shouldn't have said anything about that. I promised I wouldn't. I'm sorry, kids.
So here's the thing. I came into this. I'm going to choose the same ones I did before because I don't want to mess the experience up. But thinking about it, thinking about how I am and how I reacted, I can act giving. Since I gave Chief Brown the benefit of the doubt, I'm also giving Tessa the benefit of the doubt. I'll go more into it here when I close out the video, but for now, I'm gonna say you could have done better, and Dix will go with that.
I get that Marianne wouldn't let you help her, but there had to be a better way to deal with it. Especially if she was having some kind of crisis.
Yes, you're right. There were other things I could have done. Better things. I know I've made mistakes. All I can do now is say that I'm sorry. If I could give you back your mother, I would. I don't deserve your forgiveness, especially yours, Tyler. But if there's a place for me in your lives, I'd like to be there.
I have to know something first. Are you good with who I am?
I've been thinking about that since you came home. I believe that my life is better for having lived it by God's word. But I also believe we don't always understand what he's saying to us. I prayed for guidance, and seeing you standing here in front of me, such a strong and thoughtful young man, I think I have his answer.
That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Tessa, I know the last couple of days have been heated. I'm up for a fresh start if you are, but it's not really up to me. Tyler?
Are you sure you want to forgive her?
Are you really ready to forgive her?
I think she regrets what she did, but I totally understand if you don't want to see her anymore. It's your call.
What changed your mind?
I thought you couldn't stand her. What happened?
She did the only thing she thought she could. I can relate to that.
Yeah, and I agree. And here's the thing. And she again is trying to, make amends. So I'm done losing people.
Are you really ready to forgive her?
I think she regrets what she did, but I totally understand if you don't want to see her anymore. It's your call.
Sorry, I chose that. I'm done losing people.
I'm done losing people. And if we can't let people grow, then what the hell kind of chance do we have?
Thank you. Both of you. Kids, I never knew your mother's whole story, but it was obviously very painful. She always said you two were the only good luck she'd ever had. I'm going to try harder to forgive her. I hope you can as well. If you two are in town tomorrow, come by the cafe. Lunch is on me.
There gonna be coconut cake on the menu?
You know, I think there just might be. I'll see you two tomorrow then.
We'll be there. Come on.
Forgiveness is an awesome thing.
That was something, huh?
Yeah, it was.
I had pretty much given up on her, but I guess sometimes people change.
I know. I feel like a total ass right now.
Imagine that, huh, Tyler? People change.
You shouldn't. She needed to hear all of that.
Yeah, you're probably right. Still, I might bring in a peace offering my first day back. Any ideas?
Jesus stuff?
Jesus stuff.
Maybe I'll just finally bring back that book I borrowed 6 months ago. Not a bad view, right?
Yeah. I get now why they put cemeteries in nice spots. Takes a little bit of the sting off.
Thanks for coming with me.
Listen, I know this has been hard. I'm really grateful you saw it through with me. Fireweed was great, but there was no one really there for me like that, you know? You're the only one.
Hey, brothers and sisters, right?
But it's been way more brothers than sisters lately, which is why I'm trying to say thank you.
You really don't have to.
You saved my life, Allison.
Only for you to end up locked up in fireweed for the rest of your childhood.
Wait, are you still blaming yourself for that? Don't. It was my choice.
It's just... I stole your life, Tyler. And then I totally wasted it.
That's not true.
You're on your way to Denali. Michael's gonna be a famous chef, and what am I doing? Nothing.
You just needed time to heal.
You were just dealing with what happened the way that you needed to, alright? As soon as we figure this shit out, we're gonna sell the house, and you're gonna go to Juneau. You're gonna kick ass.
You make it sound so easy.
No. We never had a shot at easy. But we always pull through, right?
Yeah. You're right. Hey. Wherever Ranger Tyler ends up next, he better come down from the hills to visit us city folk every now and then. You hear?
For sure. And anyway, it's not gonna be for a while. We've got time.
Oh yeah, of course. We do. So I guess we know the story now, huh? Marianne was done with Delos, and Delos was done with her. Maybe she was too proud, but she worked so hard for so long, and when she reached the end of her rope, no one was there to help her. Not even Tessa or Eddie. And when she heard social services was coming, she
Gave up. But killed her kids? Really? I don't know. It still feels like there's something missing, right?
You're never gonna understand what was going through her mind. I'll bet even she didn't. It's probably always gonna feel that way.
Okay, and that's where we're at. I kind of expected to lead into the next chapter, but I guess it's not going to. Anyways, so here are my thoughts. Having grown up in an abusive household. My father did end up going to jail for 2 years for child abuse. And having social services in my life for a good portion of my childhood. Um, having been split up from my brothers, I went to a home and a group home, and then my brothers went to a state-run facility, which ended up getting shut down for sanitary conditions and abuse happening there. I can understand Tessa's point of view. Tessa cares about the kids, um, and she's in a tough position. When you see your friend, and especially when you have little ones that could be in danger. Now, that being said, looking at everything as a whole, looking at the house, looking at the memories the kids have had, I don't see it. Like that house, like I would have loved to grown up there. Right? They haven't really showed a lot of the times that maybe Marianne had gone off the deep end or what have you. But it seems to me like it was a loving household. Like she loved the kids. Like she did everything you know, everything that she could. She provided like this whole fantasy thing for the kids to play in and to endure, like this whole Goblin Notebook thing. Like I have a hard time seeing this dark you know, reason that you need to call social services. And so, eh, it is what it is. As far as Tessa's concerned, this is what we should want, right? Like, I am a Christian, so I mean, there's that. I struggle with a lot of things when it comes to my own sexuality, a lot of things that I struggle with. So, and trying to put that in perspective with my faith as well. I may not always agree with people's lifestyles or the choices that they choose, but Christ has called us to love. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. When we decide that, hey, we're not going to get anywhere by hating somebody's choices or hating somebody's way of life. All we can do is love one another. And what happens from there is, whatever happens. So, yeah, and Marianne, I think, not Marianne, but Tessa had a come to Jesus moment there, and I really appreciate that, and I think Tyler would as well. And I think that's what we want, right? Like we should all want that, you know. So, um, coming off the Chief Brown forgiveness, like it kind of made sense to roll into that forgiveness there as well. So, we're gonna go ahead and obviously roll that up here. Starting with our next episode, we are heading back to the house. Some good things, some interesting things happen there. Um, and we'll go from there. I think that will close out this chapter. And yeah, so that being said, my friends, may all of your stories be glad ones. May your roads be smooth and short. Until we meet again, you have a wonderful day. Goodbye, friends.